This is episode 9, season 3 of The Flash. So following on from the events of the crossover, goes back to the Flash dealing with Saboteur, who decides that he's going to go to Earth 3 and find Jay because he figures 2 speedsters are better than 1. And they're still playing the, I don't think we should bring Wally into danger because Wally's going to get hurt and everybody's concerned about Wally, and that sort of stuff. And that kind of gets to the point where it's just kind of annoying me and becoming cliched. I thought it was kind of cool, the fight with Alchemy and Saboteur, how they finally had source of Saboteur just suddenly turning up and then disappearing wasn't the fact that he just was running around being a lunatic, but he was actually trapped and they needed someone to be a catalyst to let him out. I thought that was kind of an interesting concept. It also kind of goes back to the statement I made a bunch of reviews back where I reckon Saboteur was actually the guy who turned out to be Alchemy, but in a way I'm right, because Alchemy needs to be holding the Philosopher's Stone to be able to bring Saboteur out and to run around like a lunatic, and he uses Alchemy's body as a way of talking, which they exploit later on, where they sort of flick him up into a bunch of little head things, and then they have Saboteur's like box thing channel through so they can have him talking and they can have a conversation with Saboteur. Although at the time, probably because of the guy's voice, but all I could think of was the Saw movies. Having Jay turn up and act as a mentor to Barry was really cool because it brought Barry back down to sort of a relatable level again, because he was progressively getting to the point where he's I am a superhero and there's no need for me to have anyone else anymore, and it brings it back into the need for a team. I'm enjoying that they've finally brought out Kid Flash, but they're doing what they do at the end of most mid-season finales, and they put it in as a teaser. It's the, check it out, here's Kid Flash's uniform, but we're not telling you when he's going to be wearing it, and you've got to wait for him to turn up as Kid Flash later. It'd be kind of cool though, because we may be able to get the Speedster family now. We've got Flash, you can go around and pick up Jay. We have Jesse Quick from Earth 2, and we have Kid Flash. All we need now is I guess an impulse, and then bam, Flash family. I still like that the looming threat is still Saboteur in the distant future, and he's not actually gone, even though they've supposedly defeated him by lobbing him into the Speed Force, because Barry gets blasted into the future from the Speed Force for once, and he gets a glimpse of possibly something that might happen, possibly not, and so that's going to be a driving factor for everything he does. I feel like that's going to be a tease. It's not necessarily going to be accurate and actually happen, or it might change, or things can happen, because that's the nature of the show. It's also the nature of time travel in this series, which they've established can mess around with everything, considering they've got an entire series based around a bunch of the main heroes flying through time and dealing with time aberrations and stuff like that. I call it an aberration instead of an aberration. Well, it's a nice season break. It's sort of opened up a lot more stories. They've given the option now for Barry not to be so invested in being the only speedster around, that they've brought in the fact that Kid Flash is just as fast as him and able to move around and be just as helpful, and they're actually letting him go in and fight. So Wally's going to be happy about that. Looking forward to episode 10 when that comes out, and I'll be back to do a review of that when it comes out. So, till next time, this is Sam saying catch you later. Catch you later.